Hey guys, what a day this has been. How are y'all doing? I'm just like all over the place today. I left early this morning and went back to the dentist. I had mentioned that on our Facebook page, and my dentist, they just took me right back and was happy to see that I looked better today than I looked last Tuesday. The lip is healing good. It's still sore, but it's, well, not really sore, just kind of, you know, like you fell on your face feeling. But he checked it, and I have no pain, no sensitivity, I have no pain, and then I have no sensitivity to hot or cold, which usually causes you to have a root canal. And so he said that was good. The only thing is, it still feels different. It's this one, that's the one that really took the impact. It still feels different. He said it's liable to feel different for a while, but he wants me to continue to just be very, very careful with it. I'm not eating anything really hard, and you know, if I eat anything at all that's not extremely soft, I am kind of biting down on one side or the other and chewing, just trying to protect it. He did check again today, and said and showed his assistants that the fractures are across both front teeth. They're fractured in the enamel, and then I have a place right there where the enamel has been like scraped off maybe, so they will buff it later. But right now I'm praising God for, you know, where I am, the condition I'm in, because it could really be bad. Really be bad. So I just praise God for that you know, it's sounding good. We won't know. He said, you know, he checked the back of them. He didn't do x-rays, more x-rays, because you know, there wasn't sensitivity or pain there. So anyway, went and had that checked this morning. And I was videotaping a little bit on the way up there. I'll have to show y'all at the end of this. And let me just tell you, my videos are looking a little different to y'all. I'm not having thumbnails, because when I told you when I did an upgrade, plus I just got me a new iPhone 7. I did that rather than buying a vlogging camera. And so I'm using iMovie to make them right now, and I know some of you use iMovie all the time, but I'm not used to it, so bear with me as I get used to it. And that's the reason I just tried to download some short ones just to see if I could do it. And so my editing skills are not real good in iMovie because I've been using Cyberlink, an editing program on my laptop. But my laptop's going to have to be cleaned completely off and updated. I hate when that has to be done. So I'm right now editing on my phone, so bear with me. I don't know how I'm going to put all this together. But I was filming a little bit this morning, and then I was just like feeling scattered and everything. And so I just turned it off. But I was sitting at the red light, and I looked over there, and this man is just like beside me, and he's just staring at me, and we just pulled up, and I was like, oh my Lord. And so when I look over at him, he's like, and I'm like, seriously, have you seen this? And all of this. And I'm like, buddy, you need to go somewhere else. So I might put this in at the end. I might put some of that in at the end, because I was just sitting there thinking I can't talk because he's going to think that I'm trying to talk to him. And I was like, oh Lord, it's funny to be flirted with when you're this age. I got the best man in the world. I don't have time to flirt, nor the energy, nor the desire. Anyway, I am editing on my phone. I know so many of y'all use iMovie, and I've got things that I've got, and it's not iMovie on a Mac. What do they call it? Mac Pro or whatever. It's not a laptop. I'm doing it strictly on the phone. And I watched some of the videos of these young people. There's one girl on there that is just amazing. All the stuff she does. Her fingernails are real long. It's amazing what she does on her phone. But I'm just like, oh, slow down, slow down. So I'm trying. We'll see. I just need to get some information. But hopefully, and I'm on my way now to pick up the boys, which I wasn't supposed to do today. I got Bible study tonight. We're having part of the inside of the house painted, so the house is in complete disarray. And so we're having Bible study at one of my leaders' house that only lives about 2 miles from me. So I'm just like all over the place. When I go to the dentist today, I pulled out, because we were making an appointment, I pulled out my bullet journal. And when I did, they were like, oh my God, what is that? And I was like, it's my bullet journal. And they're like, oh my God, it's so decorated. And look how organized you are. You're just making us look ashamed. You're so organized. And I was like, yeah, but I bet your house is cleaner than mine. I spent a lot of time on this book. But I just, you know, everywhere I go, the Holy Grail goes with me. The bullet journal. Between mother, keeping the boys, picking up the boys, Bible study, my doctor's appointments, mother's doctor's appointments. How do you people do it without a planner or something? And I love this because I take sermon notes in it. I post pictures in it, and I am so behind on a flip, so maybe I can get that done. I will be at home tomorrow morning. I don't have to pick the boys up until after school, so maybe I can get some videos done tomorrow. The last few weeks have just been a whirlwind. I'm gonna tell you something. When you fall flat of your face, it is traumatizing. It is traumatizing. My nerves have just been like, you know, and it's been crazy. I think that I almost blacked out. I think that I turned so quickly with the dysautonomia that it was like a severe dizzy spell that almost was dizzy spell equal blacking out. Because that's what my dentist said. He said normally that's how people break their wrist. Been there, done that, got a bunch of t-shirts. That was 17 years ago. But I didn't try to stop my fall at all. So that kind of tells all of us that it happened so quickly I didn't know I was falling. Because my shoulder was sore the next morning, and then I have a bad scrape on my leg, well, which is already so much better. It's amazing how the body heals in a week. But I was just traumatized. I had told them I was going to go ahead and have Bible study last week. I sent out a message to all of them because we have a Facebook page, and I told them, I said, you know, I'm just going to rest a few hours and we're going to go ahead and have Bible study. And my leaders were like, why don't you rest and cancel Bible study tonight? Because you really need to rest. And after I rested a few hours, my body was just shaking. I was just kind of, it's traumatizing. It's traumatizing. I know, like, when a person has a bad wreck, I know it's kind of hard to get back in the car and drive sometimes. And so John said something, and I thought it was so prophetic. Before we went to the dentist, he just got up and came over there and put both hands on my shoulders and just prayed for me. And he said something in the prayer. He said, Father, the very sidewalk that the feet walk down to come to Bible study is where she fell and hurt herself. I thought that was pretty prophetic for him to think in that regard. John can be really deep sometimes. He's an old country boy, and I think he surprises me. And I was like, yeah, you know, there's been a lot of things that's gone on with me the last few months, and you know that I've had to take some time, and just been some attacks and spiritual warfare attacks. Really, that's what they are. But it's all good. It's all good. They were telling me at the dentist office today, I was telling them about y'all. I was telling them about my YouTubers, how that the Lord was using the lessons that I put on to minister to people, and that how I'm amazed when I can look on there and there's 300 and 400 people have watched a lesson. a good-sized congregation church. You know, it depends on where you're from. It's just amazing how God uses it. Now, I look at these YouTubers. There's some out there that put a lot of filth and drama out there, and they run into the 10 and 20,000, you know, viewers. Now, all of them that have that number of views is not, I'm not saying that it's all that way. There are some that, I had a friend the other night say, have you seen all the drama on so-and-so's channel? And I was like, no, I don't watch it, because that's all they do is drama. And I don't have time for it. I don't have the nerves for it. I don't have the time for it. I think some people get on YouTube to create drama, and I have just so enjoyed watching all of y'all and talking to you. I feel like I know you so personally. I'm really wanting, I'm setting up my craft. I know I'm just rambling. I feel like you know, my group at work used to say, you know, I'd be talking at a meeting and then I'd just dart somewhere else, you know, like squirrel. You know, so I do that. I've noticed it since I do the videos. But I told John the other night I'm setting up my craft area downstairs, and I want to get me a big wall mount, one that has pretty good detail to it, because I'm wanting to do some little push pins or flags or something. And I want y'all to tell me where you're from, especially those of you that, you know, we've been together and you watch consistently. But I'd like to put where everybody's from, because Amanda, one of my subscribers, is from Belfast, North Ireland. We have some that's in Canada. I have a lady in Scotland that writes me. My good friend, Marianne Kensington, oh my goodness, she's such a blessing in my life. She sent me an email last night. Oh my God. You know, it's so amazing. I have no idea how long I've been talking. It's so amazing how God works. She sent me, she's a very spiritual woman. I grew to love her through her journals, but I've grown to love her as a person. But she sent me a spiritual confirmation about midnight my time last night, which it would have been during the day. She just had no idea what she was, well, she did. She knew God was speaking to her. But it's amazing what God spoke through to her on the other side of the world last night, to send an email to me to tell me that absolutely confirms something amazing in my family's life. God is so good. And I'm going to tell you this, and I know I'm already talking too long. Do not, and I know Marianne's not, she's in Australia, she's not involved in our presidential election, but for those of you in the United States, this is where we need to be for the next few weeks. We need to be seeking God's face to be in control of this presidential election. And I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. This is trying to divide our nation. It is dividing our nation. And the Bible says that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Where there is confusion, God is not the author of confusion. He's not. I'm getting a bad glare off this book. And I had written a thing on my Facebook the other night after the debate and after watching some stuff. We are in a mess. We're in a place that the people of the United States have never seen anything like this before. But even though it is disturbing to us, what we've got to realize is that God is not caught off guard. Okay? That should give you comfort. That should give you peace. My mother and I were just talking about it. He is not caught off guard. He is well aware what is going on. He is well aware of the confusion in the heavenlies. He's well aware of the spiritual warfare that's going on. He's aware of all the hidden tactics that are going on from one candidate to the other. He is well aware, and he is not caught off guard. And see, yes, it's important who becomes the president of the United States. It is important. And we don't have much of a selection this time. But the thing about it is, we need to cry out to our Heavenly Father to keep our nation one nation under God. He can work miracles through whoever becomes president. When we are on our face crying out to him, Lord, heal our land, heal our nation. It's important how you vote, because you've got to think about what kind of Supreme Court judges are going to be put there. That's the biggie right now, is where is the Supreme Court judges? Where are they going to lead this nation? And all I know to do is to say, my trust, my faith, my hope is in Jesus Christ. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He has not left us during this election. He is there. His presence is real. We need to pray. We need to ask God to intercede. We need to ask him to make a way where there doesn't seem to be a way. We need to ask him to perform supernatural events to bring this nation back to God. We need to ask him to have authority over our lives, over our homes, over our churches, over our schools. See, there is such power in prayer. And if you're not careful, if this nation of believers is not careful, we will get overwhelmed and exasperated on the circumstances that we're watching. I finally had my husband has watched it so much, I have finally just had to turn it off and sit and talk and write prayers out to God and tell him my concerns. My concerns, let me tell you what my concerns are. They're not really for me. They're for my grandbabies. They're for my grandbabies. What is this world going to be like for them if the Lord tarries and does not come back? Which, listen guys, I believe he could come back any day now. I believe it with all my heart. But look, don't get panicky. Don't get scared. Don't get frightened. There's nothing wrong with being concerned, but do not become consumed with what's going on around you. Realize that he is the author and the finisher of our faith. Speed bump. Realize that he is the still highly exalted king sitting on the throne. And I say this to my friends in other countries because I know there's unrest in your countries too. He is the King of Kings. He is the Lord of Lords. And I don't care what your circumstances look like around you. When you abide in him and he abides in you, he is in control of our destinies. No, I don't like seeing what I'm seeing, the junk that I'm seeing happening in our nation. But I know in whom I have believed. I know, like the old song says, many things about tomorrow I don't seem to understand, but I know who holds tomorrow, and I know who holds my hand. Let's be on our knees in prayer. Let's be in our prayer, in our war rooms, in our prayer rooms in these next few weeks coming up, for God to have ultimate control over this presidential election. Ask him to intervene on our part. Ask him to be the Lord of our life, and for him to show himself in this great United States of America. You know, we may be down, but we're not doomed. We may feel that this is the worst that it's ever been, and it may be, I don't know, but we are not forsaken. We have a God that cares, we have a God that listens, and we have a God that loves us, and he cares about everything we go through. Boy, this has gone all the way from going to the dentist to speaking prophetically over this United States of America. But I'm just here to tell you, God is still on the throne. He is not caught off guard by this garbage that's going on. He is not caught off guard one bit. You lean upon him. Put your faith and trust in your family in your home and your husband and your children and your grandchildren in the hands of God. And he said he will always provide a way out for us. I love you guys. I'll be coming back. Bear with me as I learn to edit on this thing. But I love you. And just like, you know, a white girl always says, I love you, but the Lord loves you more, which is so true. And I just want to remind you, he said, I came that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Until next time, see you guys. Love y'all. Bye.